Today is Budhavasaraha, 18th of April. The date is Ashtadasha, 18th of April, Ashtadasha, Dinankaha. Mangalacharanam Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhutame Bho Rama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnam iti Atha Shri Maheshwara Sutrani Ayurn Rilrik Eong Ayauch Hayavarat Lan Nyamangana Nam Jabai Gadadash Jaba Gadadash Kapa Cha 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 Tsav Kapai Sha Sha Sar Hal Iti Maheshwara Sutrani. Okay, I think last class we had just read this shloka, which is number 79. We are on page number 152, continuing with the homework. These are the last four verses now of the Navamas Sarga from the Raghuvamsha Kavyam. I know this class was continued into the Thursday class. So from this Sarga onwards, it was continued to the Thursday class all the way till the end of the Dvadasha Sarga. Okay, so this is this 2079 Ekona Shiti Tamashlokaha. 79. 1 minus 80, 79. So let's read it again. Dishtantam apsyati bhavanapi putra shokadantye vayasyaham viveti tamuktavantam Akrantapurvam iva muktavisham bhujangam provacha kosalapatihi prathamaparadhaha. One more time. Dishtantam apsyati bhavanapi putra shokadantye vayasyaham iveti tamuktavantam akrantapurvam iva muktavisham bhujangam provacha kosalapatihi prathamaparadhaha. Okay, let's see, Vin. You there, Vin?
Yes, sir.
How about doing Padacheda for us? Let's see.
Yes. Dishtantam.
Correct.
Or Dishtantam. That's samasa, right?
Yeah, Dishtan. Dishtashyantam.
Dishtantam. Apsyati. Bhavan api. Putra shokat.
Conject.
Antye. Vayas. Aham.
No. Slow down. Antye. After what's the next word after Antye?
Vayas.
No. Try again.
Vayaha.
What will be Vayas will become? How will it become Vayas like that? What will be Bhakti always? When you say a padam.
Vayasi.
Vayasi. Because Supting Antam padam.
Yes,
So if
yes.
it become Vayaha otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Vayasi.
Aham iva iti.
See, one more thing you could have done is that you could remove the aham out first, maybe. That will leave Vayasi behind.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if you have difficulty from one side, attack from the other side. See, in this particular case, you know there's iti at the end. If you remove the iti, then there's iva quite obviously behind it.
Correct.
And there's aham behind it.
Aham, right. Yeah.
Then that leaves Vayasi behind,
Yeah.
So
anyway,
that,
I see I immediately think of C, but I just missed it.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Yes.
Then
Tam uktavantam. Akrantapurvam
Akrantapurvam iva
muktavisham bhujangam
provacha
kosalapatihi prathama aparadha.
This is samastam padam.
Samasa.
Prathamaparadha. One thing, just a trick, couple of tricks over here is that in Vasu, I was worried about Vasu. I don't know what happened. He just came in late, because normally I was just worried about him because he always in the class. He just joined. Okay, I'll pick him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's always he's the kilakam of this class. Let me ring Vasu. Yeah, because I was worried why here. Everything is okay with him. Okay, I was just mentioning, he's coming in right now. I was just mentioning that, the good place to stop is after the upasarga something. See, prathama radha. Prathama. Hi, Vasu. Hi, Vasu.
I had a lot of difficulty in logging on today. So.
I'm sorry. I was a bit worried about you. Chinta jata. Mama manasi.
Oh.
Bhavat vishayika chinta.
Ah.
Okay, good. No problem. I've already started recording, Vasu. So you can start recording now.
I had a lot of difficulty on logging on.
Oh,
3 to 4 times I had.
Okay. So everything is fine.
Now.
Most importantly, everything is fine. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just started recording from we just started reading it right now. So you can start recording now. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So what I was saying is that the Prathama Aparadha is a good place to be to extend that, because if you're trying to find a place to kind of rest your tongue, a good place is after the Upasarga. Upasarga is a Pruthak Padam, technically speaking. Of course, this is a Samastam Padam, so it's a whole compound. But still, if you rather than stopping after Ra or after Prathama, stop after Prathama Aparadha. Prathama Aparadha. And here, of course, in all kinds of reading, the dirgha should be made more dirgha. dirgha taraha, dirgha tamapi. So, karanta purvam. The one common mistake is that, say purvam. Okay, I mean, these are common chanting mistakes. Dirgha is not dirgha enough. The mahaprana, like bhujangam. People don't say, Bhagwan. It's Bhagavan. Yeah. So those are also takes effort. So yeah, and in the vernacular languages, things get shortened, the conjuncts are lost, and also the mahaprana becomes alpaprana, and so those errors creep into Sanskritam also. Okay, so now what's the Tinganta? One more trick you can use is that you see the iti here, right? That ends the quotation.
Yes.
Where does the quotation begin?
Begins from the Dishtantam.
So what we can do is that keep that as a separate sentence. What's inside the quotation normally can be looked at as a separate clause or sentence basically. So then we can just take from the iti only remaining sentence, which is a Tingantam Padam. Provacha is straightforward. Right? Pra plus uvacha. I mean, adgunaha prova. I mean, uvacha is lit. Pratham Purusha Ekvachanam. I mean, that has been derived many times in the daily examples. So, Provacha. Okay, which sutram here for this Samprasaranam? There are only.
Those 9 dhatus.
Yeah, which one is that? 6-1. That's 6-1. But when does that apply? That's only Vachi Sopi Ajajinam Kiti. Now, that will not apply here because the pratyaya is null. Because tip becomes null. And Kit only comes asanyoga lit kit. So let's good time to practice some of our rules. So asanyoga apit lit kit syat. Asanyoga apit comes from the prior sutram. Apit lit kit syat. So null will not become a kit. So we cannot use vachi sopi ajadinam kiti. Moreover, if we did that, this vakara also would have become ukaraha. This one over here. The vakara. So there is an abhyas, there is a samprasaranam only in the abhyasa bhaga, not in the uttara bhaga. That means we have to use 6-1-17, which is litya abhyasasyo bhayesham. And that sutram is because it says vachi sopi ajadinam kiti. Then comes grahijya ityadinam miticha. And then come litya abhyasasyo bhayesham. So liti abhyasasya ubhayesham. Ubhayesham means both these two lists, these 11 dhatus and these 9. They all 20 take abhyasa take samprasaranam in the abhyasa bhaga of lit. So that is the sutram. Litya abhyasasyo bhayesham. Okay, anyway, so provacha. Who's the subject of that? Kosalapati. Very straightforward compound. Kosalanam patihi, the master of the Kosala regions. In sometimes in Sanskritam, these regions are expressed in the plural.
Oh, I was just going to say, how come you say Kosalana?
Yeah, like you say in English also, like the Catskills, right? So that is like that. So Kosalanam patihi. So Kosala, like territories, coastal territories. Okay, Kosala Adhipatihi. Now, who really, okay, which can you find an adjective? Before, now that we find the Karta, is an adjective for him? We can finish him off.
Right. Tam.
No, Tam is Dvitya.
Tam.
No. Tam is Dvitya Ekvachanam. Prathama Ekvachanam. Here, Prathama Paradha.
Oh, yeah, right.
Prathama Paradha.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is what is called as an adverb compound, which Panini does not have a special category for that. So we have to kind of put it in a miscellaneous category. So the Vigraha Vakam is Prathamam Aparadha. One who had committed the first offense. Prathamam equals Purvam Aparadha. Of course, I have this all in the document. We can go to the document in a second. But it is Prathamam equals Purvam Aparadha. So this Prathamam or Purvam is actually like an adverb. It is an adverb for the upper plus rad. Aparad is to offend somebody. Offend. So one who had first offended. One who had committed the first. Now, okay, let me look at.
There is a second.
What's that?
Yeah, there is a second.
Because he's going to get offended now by the Muni. So that's coming next. So he's coming next.
Oh, the Shapa is the second aparad.
Yeah, that's the second, but he's not the that's the second one. But he is the one who committed the first offense. So here we have okay. Prathama aparadha is Prathamam equals Purvam Aparadha, Prathama Aparadha. Now, Mulinatha in the commentary says Kartarikta. Okay, now how do we fit this compound? Where do we fit this? A couple of ways to do it. We can fit it in the Sutram 214, which is called as a Yoga Vibhaga. We can take it as actually, no, sorry, we don't need Yoga Vibhaga. But this Sutram 214, which says Sahasupa, which of course we have used many times. But in the beginning of the Samasa Prakaranam, Panini has these two rules: Sup, Amantrite, Parangavat, Sware, and then Sahasupa. So Sup Sahasupa. Okay, so this Sahasupa can be taken as a Adhikara Sutram, also as a Vidhi Sutram. Taken as a Vidhi Sutram, it means that in general, a Sup can compound with another Sup in variety of ways. So therefore, we fit in these miscellaneous compounds, which are neither Bahuvrihi, nor Avyabhavaha, nor Dvandva, nor Tatpurushaha. We fit them over here. Or we can do is that one thing we can say about this compound is that it is a Tatpurusha compound because the Pradhanyam is in Aparadha. The Prathamam is in some way qualifying Aparadha, but it is not an adjective, it is an adverb. But we can still say the Pradhanyam is in the Aparadha. So what does that mean? If the Uttarapadam has Pradhanyam, it means a Tatpurusha compound, isn't it? So then what we can do is that we can, rather than putting it in 214, we can fit it in 2172, which is the Mayura Vyamsakadayascha. I mean, it comes to the same thing. We have to fit it somewhere. But these are any Tatpurusha compound which is not specifically prescribed can be put in here as a miscellaneous. So this is a miscellaneous category of Tatpurushas. While the Sahasupa, you can put, basically can be used to explain any kind of compound which is not been prescribed. So in this case, let's use, this is slightly, at least we have identified it's a Tatpurusha compound. So now we are going to fit it in here. So we Avihita Lakshanaha, which means that which has not been prescribed. Tatpurushaha, Mayuravyamsaka Dishu Drashtavyaha. So this is a Gana. So Mayura Vyamsaka, these are all these strange Tatpurusha compounds. So he like cunning like a peacock. I mean, it's a strange compound, but so these kind of compounds, can we put in here? Mayura Vyamsaka Dayascha. Okay, so that is a compound here. So what we have so far, the king of the coastal territories who had committed who had first offended. Aparadha, as we have also remarked many times in this class, is that this is Kartariktaha. Even though the Pratyaktaha, which is called the past passive participle, which is a very bad name, but it is many times not passive, as in this case, and many times it is also not past either. So we have to always be careful that don't jump to the conclusion that this kta pratyaha. Okay, now these three rules which we mention all the time is kartari krit, which makes any krit pratyaha to be used kartari. And then we used tayoreva krityakta kalarthaha. The kta pratyaha is to be used only in the passive. But then comes this sutram 3470, which is very, very important sutram, is that the kta pratyaha can also be used kartari. Like, I mean, example which we give all the time is Ramo vanam gataha. So Rama has gone to the forest. Also, Ramena vanam gatam. The forest has been gone to by Rama. So in gatyarthaka dhatuhu, we can use it in the active also. And of course, akarmakaha. Akarmakaha, it has no object. So when you say malakaha, suptaha, ahamatra sthitaha, all these things have to be, active, because, it can be slept on by somebody. Sleeping is akarmaka dhatu. So here also is aparad. Aparad is to offend, And in English, I know, in English we use like a sakarmakaha. I offended him. I offended him. So that in Sanskritam, this is not like that. I think it may take a shashti, or maybe if you look at let's look at apte for a second. It doesn't become sakarmakaha. Sakarmakaha in Sanskritam. So let's me write aparad. Good thing in apte, by the way, a lot of times gives the vibhakti, which is to be used with this dhatu. Let's see aparad. Aparad. So here you say to offend. But in English we say I offended him, but that is not the way it is. He said with genitive or locative of the person. So instead of saying, I offended you or I offended him, right? Aham, you can say tam, right? Aparadha. You should say tasya, atva tasmin, tasmin. So not tam. So this doesn't become like a transitive verb like in English. So aparadha means one who has, acted improperly towards, like think of it like that. So, and then what happens to add some more complication? Now this dhatu rad is in two ganas. It is there in the swadi ganaha. It's also in the divadi ganaha. But divadi ganaha specifically says radho karmaka deva is tagged to be a karmakaha. So I use that one because this rad can take the pratyaya shan only when it is akarmakaha. So let's use that one, the divadi ganaha rad. That way we are sure that it is akarmakaha. Why do you need akarmakaha? Because we want to use 3472 to make it an active form. So that is why we are using the divadi rad rather than using the swadi rad, because divadi rad has to be akarmakaha. Then only we can put in divadi ganaha. So this akarmaka is coming over here. So, and the rest of the steps are then easy, because the dhatu is radha vruddhau in the divadi ganaha, radho karmaka deva shan. So we want the karmaka deva because we want to make sure that this is kartari. And it is all, by the way, in the commentary of Malinatha, he makes all these points. So, I mean, in this class, we're not studying the commentary in detail, but we have the commentary for help. So radha plus kta, I'm sorry, we don't need that. But the usual sutram nishtha. It's in the past, but it's not passive. It's not passive. And of course, kta ktavatu nishtha. Both kta and ktavatu are nishtha. In fact, in the same shlokaha, ktavatu has also been used. Uktavantam, uktavat, ktavatu has been used. Now, ktavatu is going to be active all the time. Because remember, kartari krit applies to all krit pratyas. And then tayoreva kritya kta kalarthaha. Only the kta pratyaya is made passive, but ktavatu remains active. So anyway, we'll come to that a little bit later on. But in the same shlokaha, we have used the pratyaya kta and ktavatu. But right now we are using kta pratyaya. The kta pratyaya normally would have been in the passive by 3470, by 3472, using in akarmaka sense. Therefore, this akarmaka is not black and white. Like it rained. Is that akarmaka or sakarmaka? You can say it rained water, it rained blood. Now that becomes sakarmaka now. So it is not like, we have to see in which sense of dhatu is being used at that time. Okay, we cannot just make of course, many dhatus are going to be a karmaka, but some of them can go both ways depending on the context. So we have to be, so in which meaning it is being used right now is what we have to understand. Okay, so then we put it in active form, and otherwise the steps are straightforward. Lashak patadjite, anubandha lopaha. This dhanteshu, the dhanteshu dhatavaha. You have to always keep this list in front of your eyes, which is the anudattupadesha. So dhanteshu, krudha, kshudha, buddhya, bandha, yudha, rudha, radha. So this is anudattupadesha. So no idagamaha. The idagama is stopped by 7 to 10. Eka chupadeshe anudattat. And of course, then we do the jashastathor dhodha. Takara becomes a dhakara when preceded by a jash letter, which is jamai ghadadash. So chaturtha varnaha. And of course, after that we do jalam jash jashi. So that's what becomes here. So when followed by the third or fourth column, tritiya varna to chaturtha varnaha, then the jal becomes a tritiya varna, jash. So jalam jash jashi. That's 8453. So that is coming way back. We get radha. So aparadha is one. It is now kartari. So one who had acted improperly. One who had first acted improperly. So he was the first offender. So that's qualifying the king. So I'm sorry, 8453 is jalam jash jashi. It is way back here. Jalam jash jashi. Okay, so what do you have so far? The king who was the first offender, he replied to he said to whom? Okay, so now what else do we have here? Who did he reply to? Is tam munim, tam tapasvinam. And now that tapasvinam has a simile to him. He has an adjective to him. Let's take the simile first. Is that okay? Let's take the adjective first, which is uktavantam. Uktavantam, the same thing which we just did. I have in the document here, uktavantam, and there we have, only thing. Let me see. Do I have it here? Yeah, I have it here. Uktavantam. The dhatu is vacha, very straightforward, and as pratyak tavatu in this case. So one. This is clearly always in the active sense. Uktavan. So uktavan, aham uktavan means I was the speaker, or I said basically. So this tavatu almost acts like a verbal form. So aham gurum uktavan. So I said to the teacher. Means I was the speaker, and the teacher was the object of the speaking. So like that. So it becomes like almost like a verbal form. This is a very easy way to avoid tinganta padani in conversation. Of course, if you use them all the time, then people know that you don't know tinganta prakaranam. But if you keep on saying, But anyway, so vach plus for in the beginning, it's a good idea. I mean, it's just a nice strategy. So same sutram, nishtha. Taktavatu nishtha, using tavatu in this case. But here we have of course kartari krit. 3470 does not apply because that only mentions the pratyakta, not tavatu. That's why this is called the past active participle. It's called the past active participle because it is only. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think Ben is muted, unmuted. So my voice is getting very broken.
Oh, okay.
So I sent you a note.
Okay, is it better now? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is better.
Okay, it's better. So I'll keep you mute and I'll unmute you when you ask a question. Okay. Thank you. Now, and this is of course in the chanteshu, the same list that we just saw. In the chanteshu, pacha, mucha, richa, vacha. So vacha is here. So it's going to be a in nishedha, the same sutram. Otherwise the steps are straightforward. So anubandha lopaha, velashakvatadyate, upadesha jananasika it. I'm sorry, this is the wrong number. Please correct that. It should be upadesha jananasika it. So the kakara velashakvatadyate and the ukaraha by upadesha jananasika it. And then samprasaranam. In this case, we'll use vachi sapi ajadinam kiti because the kit sakshat kit pratyaha. So vachi sapi ajadinam kiti samprasaranam And after that, of course, samprasaranacha. Whenever you do samprasaranam, always think of samprasaranacha. I mean, it's obvious, because if you don't apply samprasaranacha, the samprasaranam can become vyartham. Because we'll go back to yan sandhi and go back to the va again. So samprasaranacha. And after that, of course, chohokuhu. Uktavat, decline like bhagavat. Suktavantam, dvitiya ekavachanam. I mean, only thing is there is the ugidacham sarvanama sthaniya dhatoho, because this pratyaya has a sarvanama sthana sanya. I hope you're practicing all these rules, because in this class we cannot do all of them over and over again. That's what you got the website for. But when you do it on your own, you should be, in your mind, reciting all these rules. That has the sarvanama sthana sanya, but surnapumsakasya, surdanapumsakasya. So surdanapumsakasya. So su, I will just out. And then that allows the ugidacham sarvanamasthani dhatoho, because this pratyaya is ugit. This is ukara, isn't it? Idnumagamaha uktavantam. So uktavantam. So now the king said to that ascetic, who had said what? So that's this whole quotation now. So it's uktavantam leads to the quotation, which is the iti. So the king, who was the first offender, replied to the ascetic who had said this in quotation, iti. What's the quotation? Bhavanapi. Now inside the quotation, the tingantam padam is apsyati. I mean, very straightforward apsyati form. It is, dhatu is ap. It is in the, we can look in the panteshu. I want to keep on going back to this list so you can also get into the habit of doing that. Panteshu, ap. Very first dhatu here. So same thing again is eka chupadeshu nudatta in nishedha, and then you have you just add this very straightforward form. This is the rit lakaraha syatasi lutoho, which you have seen many times. So apsyati, you will also obtain. Bhavanapi apsyati, you will also obtain. Obtain what? Dishtantam. Now here one is strange thing. Dishta is kalaha. Is dhatu dish is to direct, to show, to point. But here dishta is kalaha. So this has become a masculine now. Like you'll obtain the end. How about that? Dishta, destiny. Maybe in English, same thing, maybe. Dishta, destiny. So dishta is kalaha. You allotted time. It's like your allotted time. Your you'll also come to the end of your allotted time. So I just had Apte over here, and he has dishtaha in a neuter means like fate or destiny or so. I'm sorry. Okay, I had dishta over here. While in the masculine it has a meaning of time. So you'll come to the end of your time. Come to the end, just like I have. You will also come to the end of your time. So dishta, if you look at apte, say dishta is a masculine noun meaning time. Dishta as an adjective, of course, is dishta, that means which is shown. Something which is shown, indicated, pointed, or directed, described, or but dishta is a masculine noun meaning kalaha, while dishtam is like fate, destiny, so dishtam, destiny. So that is the one strange little use in this shlokaha. So dishtaha is kalaha. So kalasya antam, very straightforward, shashtitamasaha. So you will also come to the end of your time. You will obtain the end of your time. You will also reach, in this case, reach the end of your time. Basically, the dishtasya antaha is maranam. Basically, you will die. It means that. Bhavanapi marishyati ityartaha. You will also die. You will go to the end of your time. Putra shokat. Putrasya shokat. So with the sorrow connected with your son. Shokat. And then ante vayasi. Vayaha is age. So in your last days, at the ending, in your ending age, so in your old age, basically, you will also reach the end of your time. Basically, you will also die. Just ahamiva, just like I have, you will also reach the end of your time out of shokad, out of grieving for your son. So shokad. Now, putra shokad, here the one thing is that the sutram is, we don't do sutra all the time, which is, it is due to, on account of. The reason for your death will be grief relating to your son, So you can take it putrad shokaha, putrasya shoka is sambandha shashti. Well, it's a tatpurusha compound anyway, so you can fit it in a couple of ways. So here it is. Okay, so what we have is that normally in the sense of hetau, tritiya is used. Sutram is hetau. And then, but below that, also panchami can be used. So panchami is also vibhasha. So that is what is being used over here. So basically the cause of your death, will be the grieving for your son, grief related to your son. So now, and then the antya is a tadhita prayogaha. Antya is ante bhavam antyam. So antyam is ending. Like halantyam, the sutram halantyam, which we use all the time, right? Halantyam. So antaha is end. It's a masculine noun. Well, antyam, antya is an adjective. Antya is an adjective, which means that ending, so which occurs in the end, means ending. So one more time, anta is a masculine noun, means antaha means end. Well, antya is a tadhita prayoga. It's an adjective meaning ending. The one which occurs in the end is ending. So now this is in the sense of ante bhavam, which occurs in the end, is antyam. Now if you can recall to our tadhita classes that we had, that time we were studying this adhikara of sheshe. Sheshe is this adhikaraha which we looked at in detail in a few classes, and that starts from 4292 to 4390 up to the 43434343. No, it goes beyond that up to here, up to 43133, and in that comes the sutram which says tatra bhavaha. So that means that one which occurs there. As opposed to tatra jata, which is born there. So something which occurs that does not necessarily have to be born there. So these are these two meanings, which is tatra bhavaha, tatra jataha. Okay, now what is adhikara of sheshe? Sheshe means that it does a couple of things. Is that these pratyayas which are prescribed, just some refresher, quick 2-minute refresher on the adhikara of sheshe. The sheshe adhikara tells us that the pratyayas which are prescribed in this adhikara, sheshe, they can be used in the meanings which are other than the meanings which are coming before this. There might be an overlap sometimes. For example, in the sheshe adhikara comes the sutra with tasya idam. Tasya idam means something which belongs to somebody. Tasya idam. But now, before this we had the adhikara of tasyapatyam, which came before sheshe. So tasya idam is excludes the meaning of, so if somebody is somebody's son, even though it belongs to him, it's his, we cannot use the pratyaya in this adhikara because sheshe. So one more time is that these pratyayas which are given and the meanings given here, they are to be used, but not in the meanings coming prior to this. So sheshe, in the remainder meanings only. In fact, let me go back to this. Maybe I have it in document. The second thing is that the sheshe adhikaraha also allows the pratyaya an, which is the default coming back from pragdivya to an, to be used in any miscellaneous meaning. So that is the second use of sheshe. So one more time is that this pragdivya to an, this pratyaya an, can be used. That's why an is so popular. An is the most popular to the pratyaya because of this sheshe. It can be used in a variety of meanings. So any meaning which is not specifically given by Panini Ashtadhyayi, an can be used in the sense of sheshe. That's one use of sheshe. The second use of sheshe is that sheshe tells us that this entire section, it is to be, it cannot, if there's an overlap between this meanings given over here and the prior section, then the prior, they cannot step into the prior section meanings. They cannot be used in any meaning that has come before. It can only be used in the remaining meanings. In the remaining meaning, she. I think let me just quickly. I may have it over here. She. Yeah, it is. So she said that, apatyadi chaturarthyantad anyo artha. So basically, any meaning which is other than from apatyam up to the chaturarthi, which is right before sheshe. Sheshaha. Tatra anadayaha syuhu. These pratyas come over there. So it can be, so an can be used in any meaning which is not given specifically before, and is also an adhikaraha, which goes up to tasya vikara. Anyway, so in that adhikaraha comes the thing about the tatra bhavaha, and tatra bhavaha means normally pratya an will come by default because we are the adhikara of prakdivya to an, but then what happens is a specific sutram which is the 4354, which is a ganaha, and say these words in those ganaha take the pratyaya yat, and that is, I think, digadibhyo yat. So 4354 is a set of pratipadikani which take the pratyaya yat in the sense of tatra bhavaha. So in there we find the word anta. So then we take anta plus ni because saptami ekvajanam ante bhavam, and then we add the pratyaya yat. Anubandha lopa halantyam tasya lopaha. The samudaya gets the pratipadika sanya where krit tadisa samasascha. Supluk by supo dhatu pratipadikayoho. So the antarvarti sup takes luk elision. And of course the angam gets the bhasanya by yachibham. Then yasyeticha. The avarnanta angam takes lopaha alontyasya antya. I mean, these two last steps we have used many times over and over again. Whenever we add tadita pratyaha, taditas are a subset of swadi pratyaha. So when you add tadita pratyaha, we either get the padasanya by swadishvasarnama sthane or yachibham bhasanya. Accordingly, the angakaryam is done. In this case, bhasanya pratyaya is yakaradi. So we get antya. So antye vayasi means in your ending age, basically in your old age, in your last days, you will also die, come to the end of your time, just like I have, out of grief, relating to your son, or from your, so that is what. So now what do we have is the king of Kosala territories, who was the first offender. He replied to the ascetic who had said this, which we just said. And now there's one simile for him, tam. Again, always match the vibhaktis. That is a very safe thing to do. When you have a upama, which vibhakti has been used? Bhujangam. No, that's dvitiya ekavachanam. So this is not a simile for the king because he is in prathama. So this is always a very good habit. Is when you see a upama, always match the vibhakti in the upama and the upameya. They may not match in gender and number. They may not. In this case, it does, but it doesn't have to. So the important thing is that match the, because sometimes they might be, A does this, A does to B using C, just like D does to E using F. So you have to match A and D and so on and so forth. So here we have dvitiya ekavachanam, and that's the upama for the tapasvinam. So bhujangam is sarpam. We'll derive this form in a second. So bhujangam. So the ascetic was like a snake. Mukta visham. So muktam visham yena saha is one who had released his poison. Then of course iva is the simile marker, like yatha or iva. This is the trademark of Kalidasaha. Then akranta purvam. Akranta means padahatam, which was stepped on. Purvam. So he was stepped on first. So he was like a snake who had been stepped on first and had now released his poison. So basically the shapaha is the visham, so that he is releasing. It's a nice little simile here, is that the ascetic was like a snake who had been trampled at first, and then he had just released his poison in the form of the shapaha. So let's do some grammar on this. Let's see what all we have. Um, okay. So dishtasya kalaha, dishtasya equals kalasya antam dishta. Sorry, antaha. This dishtantaha is maranam. Dishtantaha is maranam. We talked about that. And then this is from the Shabda Koshaha. Dishtaha kalecha daive syad dishtam. So dishtam in the neuter means destiny or fate, while in the masculine it is kalaha. And then akrantaha, padahataha, ahataha, one who had been, padahataha, one who had been stepped on by his foot. So purvam, this is again a adverbial compound, because purvam is adverbial to the akrantaha. So one who had been stepped on before. In fact, this is even a little bit worse because the adverb is coming at the end. Akranta purvaha. So in this case, we cannot even really use the Mayura Vyamsakadayascha. I mean, I guess we could use still, but the Uttara Padam doesn't have pradhanyam here. The Akrantaha has pradhanyam. So this is a strange compound, but it is an idiomatic compound. And in the commentary, Malinatha clearly states Sahasupa, Supsupa Disamasaha. So this is the miscellaneous compound. There is really no better way to accommodate this compound except by this Supsupa, we just talked about that 212, 214. So either Sahasupa, Supsupa, or a Kevala Samasaha. This is what this is. And comes in Gita. Adrishta Puram Rishitosmi Drishtva. Bhayena Chaptivrithitam Manome. Very nice shloka of Gita. Remember this Sahasupa or Supsupa. So please remember the shloka of Gita, which is towards the end of chapter 11. Arjuna says, I am very happy to have seen this form never seen before, but I am also afraid to show me your other form. So adrishta puram rishitos pidrishtva bhayena cha prabhititam manome. Adrishta purvam, not seen before. So not seen before. It sounds good in English. In English it sounds good, adrishta purvam. So purvam adrishtam. So this purvam is qualifying. So it's a nice shloka of Gita. Remember this sahasupa, supsupa, miscellaneous compound. Adrishta purvam in Gita. Okay, so same thing here. Purvam akrantaha. So akrantaha, purvam is one who had been stepped on before. It's a miscellaneous compound. And now kramu pada vikshepe, to step. Kram is to step. Now add the pratyakta, to be stepped on. So this is passive. This is passive. This is the classic past passive participle. Same sutram taktavatu nishtha. Nishtha sutram in the bhute adhikara. Don't forget the adhikara of bhute runs from 3 to 84 up to vartamani lat, which is 3 to 123. So that's what makes it past. And of course it's passive because of 3, 4, 70. Tayoreva krityakta kalarthaha. This is a very, very common affix. So please get used to this. And then anubandha lopaha lashak patadhite, and look at the ukara as an it. I think we did in the last class or the prior class is uditova. Is any dhatu with ukara as an it. Of course by upadesh arjuna nasika it. Then what happens is that uditova is that when the pratyaktva can take idagama only optionally when following a dhatu which is udit. And then what happens? Of course, right now we don't have ktva, we have the pratyakta. But then what happens? Yasya vibhasha is that a dhatu which allows the idagama optionally anywhere for any pratyaya. That dhatu will not allow idagama for the nishtha pratyaya. Very important sutram, yasya vibhasha is any dhatu which allows the idagama optionally in any circumstance. That will not allow idagama for the nishtha pratyaya. So idagama is stopped, and then comes Anuji's favorite sutram, which is anunasikasya kujhaloho kiniti. This adhikara of upada dirgha, upada, which is copyrighted by Anuji. So there is a sutram there, which is anunasikasya kujhaloho kiniti. Anunasik is of course an angasya adhikara. So an angam which ends in a nasal. This upada becomes dirgha. When followed by the pratyak qui, is quip, quin, etc. or jaladi kiniti. So we need to stop the idagama first. This pratyaya has to be jhaladi kitnit. So which means no idagama. So therefore we stop the idagama first. Yes, vibhasha. Then we can apply the anunasikasya kvijjaloho kiniti. Jhaladi kitnit. So becomes anunasik. I mean the apada dirgha, and then nashchavantasya jhali, and anuswarasya parasavarnaha become kranta. We've done this in the class many times. This is all in today's class, nothing really new again. Mostly all repetition of previous thing, but just some practice for us. So kranta means stepped. Akranta means like attacked, kind of, trampled. So akranta purva is one who had been trampled before. Muktam visham yena saha, straightforward Bahuvri compound, one who had released the poison. Now comes the bhujangaha. Okay. Now bhujo kautilye. So now we can, kautilye means to be crooked. Kautilye is to crooked, or So bhujati iti bhujaha. So bhujati iti bhujaha, that even like a hand also is called bhujaha. Because it's crooked, it's not like a straight stick. It has a lot of kinks and curves in it. So bhujaha. So bhujati iti bhujaha. So that which is crooked. Now so bhujaha is pratyaya ka. So that which is kautilya is is crooked. Now this sutram is 31135. 31135 is the Ataschopasarge. This you have to be careful of this sutram because it not that one. This is the prior sutram. Igupadha nya pri kirahkaha. Igupadha, a dhatu which has upadha as an ik. And also this dhatu nya, pri or kru. They take the pratyaya ka pratyaya. And of course this is kartari krit in the act. So the agent of the action. So means to be crooked is the meaning of this verb. So one who is crooked is one who is crooked, so to speak. He will take the pratyaya ka. So any dhatu which is igupadha comes in Bhagavad Gita. Nateshu ramate buddha. So one who knows buddha. So dhatu buddha is igupadha. So they add the pratyaya ka. Of course in the ka, the shakvatadite, the ka is in it, tasya lopaha, and then that stops the puganta laghupatasya cha. So we get so igupadha nya pri kiraha kaha. So janati iti gnyaha. So prinati iti priyaha. How about that? So priyaha, the word priyaha comes from this sutram. So igupadha nya pri kirah kaha. So pratyaya ka comes in here, and then so the agent of the action. So here the action is to be crooked. So one who is crooked. Anubandha lopaha lashakvatadite tasya lopaha. And then kiniticha stops puganta laghupatasya cha. Now bhujena kautilyena gacchati bhujangaha. So one who goes in a crooked manner. Bhujena kautilyena gacchati bhujangaha. Dhatu of course is gamlurgatau. Now what do? We need to get the mummagamaha. You can work backwards. Is first of all in the pratyaya da we need over here. We want to T lopaha. So T lopaha means sutram tehe 64143 is we can be used when the dit pratyaya follows. So we can work backwards from bhujangaha and realize, okay, the crooked manner, I guess we can work in a crooked manner. So bhujena vidhina, in a crooked manner we can realize that the pratyaya should be da. We need T lopaha. Secondly, we need a mum agamaha to get the form bhujangaha. So we need a pratyaya da, which is which is a dit, I should say. A dit pratyaya, which is a akaraha. So like a pratyaya like da. But a pratyaya da will not get the mum agamaha. So we need a kit pratyaya, which is a dit, and anubandha lope akaraha. So one more time. We need a pratyaya. To get the form bhujanga, we have to have a pratyaya, which is a dit, which can do T lopaha by 64143. Secondly, we need a mum agamaha. So we need a kit pratyaya. And the pratyaya after anubandha lopaha has to be a akaraha. Akara, because we need, after doing T lopaha, we need to get an akara at the end. So we need these three things. Khit pratyaya. Why khit? Why khit pratyaya? I think we saw in the prior classes is arudvishadajantasya mum. Arudvishadajantasya mum. Arudvishadajantasya mum. Arudvishadajantasya mum. So a mum agamaha comes for the for arus, dvishat or ajantasya. Remember this adhikara in 6.3. 6.3 is a section of Ashtadhyayi where Panini says what happens to the Purva Padam in a compound. So there's some change in the Purva Padam. So we are talking about here about a Upapada Samasaha. Upapada Samasaha. And we want to get the mum agama for the Purva Padam. Sutram is 6.3.6.7. 6.3.6.7. Arudvishya dajantasya mum. So, but that has, khiti. So that's why I'm saying we need a khit pratyaya, which is also dit, and anubandha lope, it should be a akaraha. Okay, so what can we do here now? Now the section here is, I think it starts from 3 to 38. The pratyaya khach. Pratyaya khach is prescribed from 3 to 38 onwards, 3 to 38. Of course, the samasa vidhayaka sutram is upapadam ating. Upapadam ating. Upapadam ating. But now we have to find a sutram. And then we know the adhikara of tatra upapadam saptam istham. So, saptam istham. So we now have to find a sutram here. Which will prescribe a pratyaha, which is dit and which is khit and which is of the form of a akaraha. After removing the anubandhas. So now, here the section of khach starts from here. So khach, that will be useful for us, but we need to make this into a dit, and we want to be able to use it for in dhatu gam. Now here it's for dhatu vad, and then it is for dhatu some other dhatus. So unfortunately, none of these are going to happen directly. But we have to use a vartikam now. There is going to be a vartikam under the same sutram. Priya vashe vadaha khach, priyam vadaha vasham vadaha. So that's his word. But that's for dhatu vad. When these two are upapadam, priya vashe, so priya or vasha, then following vad we can use khach. So it's no use for us right now. Right now we're going to get the form bhujanga. So but in the vartikam, in the sutra there's a vartikam. 3 to 30 is a vartikam which says that game supi vachaha. So when any sup is upapadam, look at supi saptami. Tatra upapadam saptami stham. So any sup is upapadam, gam can take the dhatu khach. And asanyartham idam. And this is because we already had a sutram gamascha. So can we use that gamascha? The gamascha can be used only sanyayam. Even that we may have been able to swallow. But don't forget, we have to make this pratyaya dit. We have to make pratyaya dit. Otherwise we cannot. And under this vartikam, under 3 to 38 is another vartikam. Khacha ditva vachaha. So that does the job for us now. Well, if you don't want to go through all these complications, if you just want to accept the form bhujangaha as a snake, bhujena gacchati bhujangaha. You can just, you don't want to do too much vyakaranam. It's okay. I mean, because see, all this vartikam is basically, it is, an accepted form in the language, and we are working backwards to fit the vyakaranam backwards. We're trying to find some vartikam somewhere to get a pratyaya which is khit and dit and akaraha. And it is nice, but it is basically, we have to accept it as a form which is used in the language. So these vartikam basically do that. They fit in the vyakaranam for us. So we could have used the sutram gameshcha, which is sanyayam. Gamashcha sanyayam. But we need the vartikam over here on 3 to 30 to make it a dit pratyaya. See, gamashcha we have already used. See, gamashcha we used in the prior class, But let's go back there. The 3 to 47, we already used 3 to 47. I think we used it in the turangamaha, I think we used it. 3 to 47. Because that time, we didn't need the dit pratyaya. Turangamaha. Turena gacchati turangamaha. Turangamaha, it is not turangaha, it's turangamaha. So that pratyaya is not a dit. You understand? So that sanyayam we were fine with using 3 to 47. It's no problem. But with bhujangaha, it's not bhujangamaha, it's bhujangaha. So now we need to make the pratyaya dit. To make a pratyaya dit, we have to use the vartikam on 3 to 38. We need that. We cannot do without that. We cannot do without in the form bhujangaha. So 3 to 38, 3 to 38. So we have to use 3 to 38. So, okay. So then come, so what do we have so far now? I'm sorry. 3 to 38, 3 to 38, 3 to 38. Bhujena gacchati, bhujena gacchati, bhujena gacchati. So, okay. So let's do one more time here. Bhujena gacchati bhujangaha. We use upapadam, I think. Never forget the fact that every samasa has to be authorized by sutram in 2.1 or 2.2. Always start from there. And that's the upapadam thing. Then we can do tatra upapadam saptami stham. And then we come to this vartikam. Gamehe supi vachyaha. Get the pratyaya khachya. Asanyartham idam. Because if it's sanyartham, we could have used 3 to 47. But now we also need to make the pratyaya into a dit. First we can do anubandha lopaha. Lashakvatadite halantyam. And then supluk by supodhatu pradvidikayoho. Then khachya ditva vachyaha. Vartikam under the same sutram, and now we got what we need, because now we made this pratyaya into a dit, and then we can use 64143 ditva samarthyad bhasya piti lopaha, because 64143 come the bhasya adhikaraha, and bhasya is only yachibham, but that's anuvritya swadishu, the sarvanamasthane. This pratyaya is not swadishu. Swadishu only starts from 412, but the dit karanam can have only one prayojanam, which is T lopaha. So ditva samarthyad abhasyapi lopaha, we could T lopaha, and then of course the pratyaya is a kit. We could arudvishadajantasya mum, arudvishadajantasya mum, arudvishadajantasya mum. So we got ajantasya. So this ajantam pura padam gets the mumagamaha midachontyat paraha. So arushaha dvishataha ajantasya cha mumagamasyad khidante pare natva vyasya natva vyasya natva vyasya natva natu avyasya natva vyasya. And then mumagama anubandha lopaha upadeshadranasiket rantyam tasya lopaha. And finally, of course, naschavadantasya, sorry, monuswara. Excuse me, this is a padasanya. Don't forget that we had the pratyaya ta, which came and went. So pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam supting antam padam. So bhuja has the padasanya here. So bhujam, so this makara is padanta makaraha. So I should put pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam, pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam, supting antam padam, and then monuswaraha, and then vapadantasya, we get the pakshika parasavarnaha. Bhujang, so bhujanga. Okay, I think enough Vyakarana for one lesson, one shloka. So let us look at the translation. Let's see, Ven is there. You there, sir? If you're there, Ven, you can do translation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Let me see.
Yes.
Actually, there's some nice notes here also. By the way. Let me read that to you first. We can go to translation. What does the notes here say? That the sage. So Antya Vayasi, in thy last, that is old age, he says, when age comes upon thee. And Dishta is Kalaha, which we saw that. The sage cursing the king who had first offended him is compared with a serpent who has been first trampled under the foot. Okay. All right. Let's look at the translation. So here we have, okay. Says, when age comes on thee. What do you think that is?
Vayasi.
Antye Vayasi.
Antye Vayasi.
In your last age, so to speak.
Yes.
Thou is you, sir.
Bhavan.
Bhavan. Two also.
Api.
Shall die.
Dishtantam apsyasi.
Yeah, you will come to the end of your time. Dishtantam apsyasi. Of grief for thy son.
Putra shokad.
As I. So.
Eva. Ahamiva.
Ahamiva. Iti now ends the quotation.
Right.
Thus, that's the iti. As a snake is?
Iva is as, snake bhujangam.
Bhujangam iva. When trampled upon.
Akranta purvam.
Yeah, purvam is understood here, trampled upon. He says, pours its venom.
Mukta visham.
Mukta visham. He spake. He spoke.
Tam
uktavantam. He is tam uktavantam. So, and to him, that is tam uktavantam. The king is
Kosalapati.
Yeah, Kosalapati, king of the coastal territories, who first had offended him.
Prathama
Paradha. Made reply is Provacha made. Again, sorry, 1 hour for one shloka, but lot of smart.
Aparadha generally means an offense, right?
No, that's aparadha, not radha. Be careful now.
Oh.
Yeah. Aparadha is just a pratyaya. That is bhave, the act of offending. But this aparadha is a participle form. Yeah. So two different things. Yeah.
But does it seem to imply that if what Kosalapati did was wrong, but so also what the Muni did was wrong? Does it imply that?
I guess. Prathama Paradha. Well, I guess.
So the Muni did the second, right? He also did something wrong.
So Prathama Paradha, one who had offended first. Yeah. If you look at it like that, then what he did also was not, I guess, exactly kind, right? So in that sense, no, I see what you're saying, but I mean that's not slight implication is there, but not. Yes, sir. Okay, next shloka says, Shapopyadrishtatayanana padmashobhe sanugraho bhagavata mai patitoyam krishyam dahannapi khalu khitim indhanedho bija praroha jananim jalanah karoti. Okay. Shapo apyadrishtatayanana padmashobhe. Shapopyadrishtatayanana padmashobhe. Sanugraho bhagavata mai patitoyam. Krishyam dahannapi khalu khitim indhanedho bija praroha jananim jalanah karoti. So shapaha api adrishta tanayanana padmashobhe. Adrishta tanayanana padmashobhe. Of course, adrishta tanaya anana padmashobha. Padmashobhe saptami ekvachanam. Sanugraha bhagavata mai patitaha ayam. Krishyam dahan api. By Sandhi rules, I hope you are practicing, is Nyamo Rasvadachi Nyamun Nityam. I think 8.332. So we have a Nyam. So we have Nyama. If we look at the Maheshwara Sutra and the 5 nasals, so we have Nya, ma, nga, na, nam. So it's a nga, na, nam, nga, na, nam. So the chavarga panchama, the tavarga panchama, and the tavarga panchama. Of course, the most common is the tavarga panchama. So nya, ma, nga, na, nam. So nga, chavarga, the kavarga panchama, na, tavarga panchama, or nakara, tavarga panchama. If so, that's the nyam pratyahara. So following a nyam, which itself is following a rasvaha. The achi, the following ach takes a nyamut agamaha nityam. So what do you have here? We have dahan. So we have a akara, nakara. The nakara is the nyam, which is preceded by rasvad, rasva akara prior to it, and following is the ach of the api. So that ach of api takes the nyamut, in this case nut agamaha, dahannapi. So sandhi, and then so krishyam dahan api khalu khitim indhanedha bija praroho jananim jvalanah karoti. Jwalanta is Agni. Okay, so now here there is like two sentences here. One is like a Dishtanta is illustration. This is like an illustration given over here, the second one. So Drishtanta, I should say, Drishtanta. Drishtanta is an illustration. So we have first sentence is that Bhagavata Mai Ayam Shapaha Patitaha. So this Pat is to fall, but Patayati is to make fall, means to drop. So you have made this. It's like a thunderbolt. You have dropped this. You have dropped this curse on me. So ayam is of course Prajapadikkam idam idoye pumsi. So please practice all these rules for the Subanta Prakaranam and the Sandhi Prakaranam, which is being given to in daily examples on the website. So here the sutram is idoye pumsi. Below tedadi namaha. A little bit before that comes the sutram idoye pumsi. Get the ay adeshaha. So sauparataha, right? Idoye pumsi. So the id becomes ay. So idoye pumsi. So becomes ayam. It becomes ayam. Idoye pumsi. So that's the sutram for the ayam. And then so this you can always practice in the daily examples, because if you just all you have to do is look at this sutram which is Uday Pumsi, which is 72111, and just go to the website, and if you just put it in there, I'm sure you'll find some hits of Uday Pumsi 72111. So here it is. Let's see what we get. Idoye Pumsi. So Sutra Suchi, of course, we have it here. So you can look at this one, for example, question 3. So let's see what we get over here. Idoye Pumsi. So we get is that Idoye Pumsi in the form ayam, so idam plus su. So just sum out, and then idama plus su tyadadi namaha. Ending makara would have been replaced by akaraha, but when the su pratyaya follows, idamo maha ordains makara in place of makara to stop tadadi namaha. And then idoye pumsi, when the affix su follows, the id bhagaha of idam takes the ayadeshaha. Then anekachi sarvasya, then we get ayam plus sa, and then sakar lopaha by halinyabhyo dirgha sutisya praptam hal. Okay, so the important thing is idamo maha and then idoye pumsi. Okay, so this shapaha. Now patitaha. Patita, of course, dhatu patl gatau. But then in patitaha, what has happened here is that nich pratyaya has been caused to fall, has been dropped on me basically. So take the dhatu pat, had hitumati nich by hitumaticha, and then anubandha lopahachu to halantyam. Atopadhayaha upada dirghaha sanadyanta dhatavaha. Then we get the dhatu pati, gets the dhatu sanya. Of course, same sutram, nishtha sutram, taktavatu nishtha, which we've been using all the time. So has been made to fall, So this is passive, this is past. So the same 3, 4, 70 by tayoreva krityakta kalarthaha. And so now we get idagamaha. Idagama is only start for ekacha. Ekacha Pudeshinadatta. This is not Ekacha. Idagamaha. But then comes Nishtayam Seti. Right below the sutram, near niti comes Nishtayam Seti. So Nishtha Pratyaha with Idagamaha. Then the Nich takes Lopaha. Becomes Patita, Nishtayam Seti, Patita. So this curse has been dropped by you on me. So Bhagavata, by you, respected sir, Bhagavata means almost like a lord. By you, the Lord. By you, it has been dropped on me. But it is sanugraha. So anugrahena saha patitaha. We have used this many times. Is Bahuvri compounds. Saputraha agataha pita. So anugrahena saha patitaha. Sanugraha patitaha shapaha. This saha. Of course, saha is an avyayam. So saha will take avyad apsupaha supluk. And the sutram is 2228. Tena saheti tulya yoge. Tena sahiti tulya yoge. So when two things participate in action together, tulya yoge. In this case, it is a shapaha, which is being dropped, but with a blessing in it. So this shapaha is being dropped with the blessing. So both the shapa and the blessing are being dropped. So but the shapaha is the main item and the blessing is going along with it. So tena sahiti tulya yoge. And the saha is prathamanidishtam samasu pasajanam purvam. And then of course supluk as usual, because samastam padam, so krit tadita samasascha pratipadika sanya anubha means supluk. And then after that we get the vopasajanasya, which is that the saha takes the sa adesha optionally. When upasajanasya, remember the bahuvari compound, every padam has the upasajana sanya. Sarvopasajano bahuvrihi. Sarvopasajano bahuvrihi. So therefore the saha comes in Gita. Sahayajñah praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi. At that, this chapter 3. So there, the saha has not taken the sa adesha. But then comes jnanam teham savidyanam idam vakshyamya sheshasaha. Yajñatva neha bhuyo jñatam avashishyate. Manusya, I think chapter 7. Manushyanam sahasreshu kashidhatati siddhaye. So in Gita we see both of them. We see in chapter 3, which is sahayajñah praja srishtva, where it has not been done, the sa adesha, but here comes jnanam teham savijnanam. So here, vijnanena saha vakshyami. So I will tell you this knowledge with practical application. Savijnanam. Okay, so then, so in this case, the sa adesha by vopasajanasya. Again, look at the number 6-3. We just use 6-3-67, which is the mum agamaha. But both of them are doing something to the pura padam in a compound. That's the commonality here. Because of the adhikara of aluttara pade. So uttara pade. When uttara padam follows, then something happens to the pura padam. That's the adhikara of 6.3. Is Uttarapade. Uttarapade. When Uttarapadam follows, and of course that means the operation being done to the Pura Padam of a compound. So that was the, here we got this. So then we come, the Akasama Dirgha, so Sanugraha. So this curse has been dropped by you on me, sir. By you, the most respected sir. But it has been dropped with a blessing. So why it's a blessing? And api, even though it's a curse, it has been dropped by you on me with a blessing. Now what's the blessing? Is expressed by giving this mai an adjective here. So mai has been qualified by its bahuvari compound, adrishta tanayanana padma shobhe. So first of all, na drishtaha, na drishtam adrishtam. Very straightforward Nyai Tatpurusha compound, which we have seen many times, especially the 2-6 sutram Nyai, and then na lopo nayyaha, na lopo nayyaha. So adrishta, adrishta, na drishta equals adrishta by sutram Nyai plus na lopo nayyaha, nothing special, na lopo nayyaha. Then in this long compounds, we have seen if you have a Tatpurusha compound, you can collapse the bracket. So tanayasya ananam, tanayananam means the face of a son, the son's face. Tanaya is the son, putraha. So tanayasya ananam, tanayananam, son's face. Then tanayanas, then we can forget about tanaya now. We can just keep ananam. Why? Because the Tatpurusha compound is Uttarpada Pradhanaha. So then Ananasya Shobha. Then before that, Ananam Eva Padmam. This is like the metaphor, like a metaphor, you know. So we say Jnana Amrutam. So knowledge, which is like nectar. So Jnanam Eva Amrutam. So Jnanam is the Amrutam. Ajnana Shrunkala. So ignorance is the bondage. So same thing here is Ananam Eva Padmam. So this sun's face is the lotus. It is the lotus. Sun face is the lotus. It's a metaphor. And then, so this is a kind of a Karmadharya compound, which is a subset of Tatpurusha. So first we formed Tanayasya Ananam, sun's face. Then Tanayasya ananam eva padmam karmadharya. So now we can leave the Tanayanana behind. Then Padmasya Shobha. So now this is Shashti, of course, Shashti Tatpurushaha. So now we can leave Padmam behind. So we have accounted for Tanaya, Anana and Padma. Now what do we have? Adrishta Shobhe. Now a simple Bahuvri compound. Adrishta Shobha Yena Saha. So basically this curse has been dropped by you, sir, on me, who has not seen the beauty of the lotus in the form of a sun's face. So basically, I don't have. It basically means I don't have a son. That's what it means. But this, I am someone who has not seen the shobha, the beauty of a lotus in the form of a sun's face. So that is why it is sanugraha. So this because you told me that I am going to die out of grief for my son, but I don't have a son. So therefore, your curse has inside it a blessing for me. So let's finish the compound here. The compound is Tanayasyananam Tanayananam Shashti, and then Tanayananam Eva Padmam. Tanayanana Padmam is the same sutram, Visheshanam Visheshyana Bahulam. This Visheshanam is like what is called as the Avadharana Purapadam. Avadharana Purapadam is like it's a metaphor basically. So and then Tanayanana Padmasya Shobha. These are all Tatpurusha compounds. Shashti compound, Kramadharya compound, again Shashti compound. So Tanayanana Padmasya Shobha, Tanayanana Padma Shobha. And then Nadrishta Adrishta. Finally Bahuvri compound. And here we get a Pumvat Bhavaha. Don't forget the Pumvat Bhavaha. Adrishta becomes Adrishta. And then in the Uttara Padam, this Shobha becomes Shobha. In Bhagavad Gita, seen the example many times. Sita Prajnasya Ka Bhasha. Sita Prajna Yasya Saha. So first the Pumvat Bhava is for a Pura Padam. Let's not confuse these things. The Pura Padam gets Pumvat Bhavaha. While the Pratipadika ante Rasvadesha. The two different. This is not. So one more time. This gets Pumvat Bhavaha. Basically in the Bahuvri compound, if you have a feminine adjective calling a feminine Uttarapadam, then that feminine adjective in the Pura Padam becomes Pumvat, becomes masculine like. And then, so it becomes Adrishta. And because of, Go Striyor Upasajanasya is if you have a Go Shabdaha at the end, or a Stri Pratyanta Shabdaha at the end of a Pratipadikam, which has the Upasajana Sanya. One more time, Bahuvri compound is, never forget this, Sarvo Upasajano Bahuvrihi. Bahuvri compound, every Padam has the Upasajana Sanya. Because, generally speaking, Bahuvri compound is the Anya Pada Pradhanaha. So none of these Padas in a Bahuvri compound have Pradhanyam. They're all secondary. All secondary. So what do we have here? We have a Shobha. The Shobha ends in the Pratyaya Tap. So because of Go Striyor Upasajanasya, that comes right below Rasvanapumsake Pratipadikasya. Rasvanapumsake Pratipadikasya. So here we have the Anuvritti of Rasvaha and Pratipadikasya. So at the end of a Pratipadikam, if you have a term which is Upasajana Sanya, and which is either ending in a Stri Pratyaha, or it is the Go Shabdaha. Right now, of course, we don't have Go. We have this Stri Pratyanta Shobha Shabdaha. It has Upasajana Sanya, because Sarvo Upasajano Bahuvrihi, and it is at the end of Pratipadikam, because of course we get Krutita Samasascha, we have Pratipadikam, it is the Rasvadesha. So by 1 to 48 Rasvadesha. So two things are happening here. Pumvat Bhava of the Purapadam and Rasvadesha at the end of the Pratipadikam. So please practice these rules. We have seen the class before many times. Again, this class, nothing much new. Maybe one Vartikam here and there. Otherwise, everything is just practice. Like look at this verse. This is the old sutram. This is also old. This is also old. These two are very common. These two we have seen before. This is also a common sutram we have seen. This one we have seen before. There's nothing new. There's nothing. This one also we have seen before many times. And then this one also we have seen, Pachad, the Ach. And so there's nothing really special. Okay, there's one sutram. Okay, there's one sutram we're going to see now. It's going to be slightly special. But everything is, abhyasa, abhyasa, abhyasa. So that's what's happening here. Pumvad bhava, the Purapadam by 6.3.34. Striyaha pumvad, bhashita pumsakadanung. Samadhikarane striyam, apurani priyadishu. Striyaha pumvad, bhashita pumsakadanung. Samadhikarane striyam, apurani priyadishu. So basically, striyaha pumvad is that a feminine term is pumvad bhavaha. Bhashita pumsakad, if it is basically an adjectival form. Samadhikarane striyam, if it's followed by a feminine in samadhikaranam. If it's a karmadharya compound, we should not use this. We should use 36342. That's a more powerful sutram. This has some exceptions, but this one has less exceptions, so we want to use. So this is basically for non-karmadharya compounds. So Bahuri comes in this one, 6334. Okay, then so that's so far what you have is that. So this shapaha has been dropped by you on me, but it is with a blessing because I am one who has not seen the beauty of the lotus in the form of a sun's face. And then he gives a nice drishtant illustration, is that Jvalanaha Agnihi is Khitim Bija Praroha Jananim Karoti. So fire makes a land or the earth, Jananim, a mother of the sprouts. So bija praroha. So bija praroha is the seed sprouts. So it makes, so fire makes a land capable of producing sprouting, And what kind of fire? Indhanedhaha, which is blazing with fuel, on account of with the fuel. And Dahannapi is even though it burns, even though the fire burns the land, it makes it capable of growing, of sprouting, creating sprouts. And Krishyam, which is the fertile land, Krishya is fit to be plowed. So the agricultural land. So that's so fire. So this shapa is like the fire. This shapa is like the fire. Even though it's burning me, you burnt me with this shapa. But now it has a blessing inside it. That now I am going to have a son. So just like this fire, it makes the Khitim, Prithivim, Bija Praroha, Bijankura Jananim. So it makes it capable of producing these sprouts. This fire which is blazing with fuel. So just like your curse is like blazing with this kind of this wrath of yours, with your anger, blazing with anger, your curse. But still, even though it's burning, it is going to make me blessed with a son. So simple sentence is Jvalanaha is like the shapaha, Kshitim Prithivim, Bija Praroha Bijankura Jananim, makes it a mother of the seed sprouts. And the fire is Indhanedhaha. Indhanedhaha, Iddhaha means blazing with fuel. Indeed, Khalu, Dahannapi Jvalanaha, even though it is burning. And Krishyam Kshitim. Krishya is, we're going to see this grammar forms, which is fit to be plowed. So this earth which is fit to be plowed, this fire which is blazing with fuel, even though it burns, it makes it capable of sprouting again. So Krishyam is Dvitiya Ekvachanam qualifying Kshitim, Dahan is Prathama Ekvachanam. Of course the same thing there, we get the Numagamaha, because this is Pratyaya, Shatru Pratyaya, which you've seen many times, like Pachan, Gachan. So I didn't derive all the steps all the time again. Numagama by same 7170, Vidisham Sarvanamasthane Dhatoho. Api is an avyam, Khalu is an avyam, Kshitim is a Kshiti, like Prithivi, it's a feminine noun. Indhanedhaha is qualifying Jvalanaha. Karoti, of course, is Lat Pratyaya, I mean Lat Lakaraha. Nothing really too special about that, straightforward. And Jananim is a feminine form like nadi. So let's look at the some dvitiya ekvachanam. So this is qualifying dikshitim. Let's look at some vyakaranam. Prarohati iti prarohaha ankuraha. This is the pachadyacha. Remember this sutram, sutram nandigrahi pachadibhyo lyuninyachaha. So these nandyadi ganaha can take the pratyaya lyu. This grahyadi ganaha can take the grahyadi ganaha can take the pratyanini, and the pachadi ganaha can take the acha. Nandigrahi pachadibhyo lyu ninyachaha. And of course, akriti ganaha. So this, the bottom line is the pratyaya ach can be used basically after any dhatuhu, depending on usage. So nandyadibhyo lyu, nandanaha, ramanaha, madhusudanaha, etc. Then grahi, etc. take the nini, and the pachadi take acha. Acha is akriti ganaha. So prarohati, that which ruha is to climb. Praruha is to kind of grow. That which grows is a sprout. Ankuraha. Praroha, ankuraha. So ruha bija janmani means to, pradurbhavecha. So here it is in the sense of, sprouting. So ruha plus acha by the pachadi acha. So you see this been mentioned many times. When you see pachadi acha, it means 3-1-134. The pachadi is an akriti ganaha. So ach comes in the sense of the agent of the verb, which means in this case to grow or to sprout. And then of course anubandha lopa halantyam puganta lagupatasya cha rohaha. And praroha is a gati samasa, kugati pradaya. Prarohati iti praroraha. Then bijasya prarohaha ankuraha. So these seeds, the sprouts of the seeds. So sprouts of the seeds. So abijanam, say bijasya bijanam. Bija prarohaha. Shashti samasaha. Then again shashti samasaha. Bija prarohanam janani. Utpadana kshama. She is capable of producing. So mother means, janani means mother. So it is basically, it means that which is capable of producing. Utpadana kshama. So capable of producing sprouts. Shashti samasa again. And then Krisha, this is the one special sutram in this shlokaha. Krisha vilekhane is basically to draw, to pull, to plow. This case to plow. Don't confuse this with the talalvya shakaraha. That means to become weak, to be or emaciated. Comes in Vishnu Sahasranama. Krisha sthulaha. So Krishaha, Vishnu, he is, I guess, trim or slim. So Krisha is to be emaciated or weak or trim, thin. While Krisha, Murdhanya Shakara Krisha, can I think a couple of meanings it has. It means to draw, to pull, like Akarshanam, Krishnaha. Also means to plow. So Karshana Yogya. So Krisha is Karshana, you fit to be plowed. Now this is the potential participles, what Panini calls Kritya Pratyaha. Kritya Pratyaya, very first in the Kritadhikaraha. The very first section Panini takes is Krityaha Prang Nulaha. And there, normally what you have, Ruhal or Nyata. So when you have a Halanta Dhatuhu, the Pratyaya Nyat should be used. So that will not get we'll not get the form Krishya with that. We'll get the form Karshya. So, but then there's a special sutram here which says that Rugapadha Cha Kripi Chritehe. So this pratyaya kyap can be used. Is to be used, I should say, after dhatu, which is Rudupadha, which has the upadha as the rukaraha. So in Krish dhatu, we have the penultimate as the rukaraha, but not the dhatu krip or chrit. So barring these two dhatus, kripi chritehe, Rudupadhad, kyap syat. So we get the pratyaya kyap here with special sutram. Rudupadha cha kripi chritehe. Rudupadha cha kripi chritehe. This is one sutram. See, what I'm saying is that now we know all the main rules. Now we have to just add some extra, some small thing. We know this is a potential participle. So we know where to come to this section from 3.195 to 3.132. And we know ruhal or nyat will not work. Of course, in this particular case, even in the commentary itself, Mulinath has given the sutram, so it's very straightforward. Now we can do Anubandha Lopaha by Halantyam Rashakvatadite. Kiniticha will stop the Puganda Lagupatasya. And then, so no Guna Adesha, because Pratyaya is Kyap. Could add Pratyaya top, Striyam, and then big Anubandha Lopaha, Akasam and Dirgha. Nothing can be used in the feminine unless it's past the checkpoint of Striyam. And the very first sutram is Ajadyatashtab. Ajadyatashtab. So, and now Indhana Iddha. A little bit of poetry going on here. The dhatu is Ni Indhi Deeptau. The dhatu is Ind. Dhatu is Ind. It has two it letters, the Ni and the Ikara at the end. Ikara at the end, Deeptau. So it says Indhanaihi Kashtaihi Iddha Prajvalitaha is Indhanedhaha. So that is so that which has been is blazing with this fuel, or, on account of this fuel or by this fuel. So Indhanaihi equals Kashtaihi. This is the Titiya Tatpurusha compound by Kritakarane Krita Bahulam, and of course Ad Gunaha. Indhanedhaha. So a little bit of poetry going on. The dhatu Indh has been used in Indhanam as well as Iddha. So Iddha is a this passive participle, past passive participle, while Indhana is this Idhyate aneneti Indhanam. So that by which something is you remember the sutram which we see all the time, like Lekhani. Likhyate anaya iti lekhani. Likhyate anaya iti lekhani. So this pratyaya lyut is used not only the lyutcha bhave, but also use karanadikaranayoscha. Karanadikaranayoscha. So remember that. So here karanarthe lyut. Karanarthe lyut has been used. So idyate anena iti indhanam. So that by which something is set ablaze. So Ni Indhi Deeptau Pratyaya Lyut by of course Anubandha Lopa in the Dhatu by Upadesha Jananasika It, then Adir Ni to Davaha. Adir Ni to Davaha. The entire Ni gets the Samudaya gets the It Sanya, and then Karanadikaranayoscha, that by which you write the Sanjeevani Vidya, Jivyate Anaya iti Sanjeevani, and so on and so forth. Lot of these times, So not only, so important sutram is Karanadikaranayoscha, which we have seen in the previous classes. Then we can do Anubandha Lopaha, Lashakvatadite, Alantyam, then Yuvaranakau, so you get Indhana. Now Iddha is the past passive participle, Pratyakta. So Nishtha sutram, here we used Taktavatu Nishtha. In this case we can make it not past, we can make it present. But the sutram 32187, in fact that's also important sutram 32187, say there is this dhatu which has this ni as an it. Ni as an it. In that case nitaktaha. Nitaktaha is this such dhatus. The kta pratyaya is used in the actives in the is nitaktaha, 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 nitaktaha. So get the vritti of this one 32187. Nitaktaha, nitaktaha. So that's the function of this ni as an it in the ni indi dhatu. So this is the second last sutram of this 3.2. Nitaktaha, 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 nitaktaha. So ni idyasya nita. Nita dhatoh vartamane arthe tapratya bhavati. So obviously this fire has not blazed and now it's burnt out. It's blazing right now. So now you see where Parni puts this ni as an it. Because normally you have the past because this pratyaktaha is, if you use the sutram nishtha, then that sutram is in the bhute adhikaraha. So really I should remove this one here. We don't need this one. We should remove that because that is not to be used. This one is to be used. Nitaktaha. Because this one will put it in the past by this bhute adhikaraha. We want to use nitaktaha. Nitaktaha. And it says that Ni id yasya. So a dhatu which is this ni as an it. Nito dhato vartamane arthe kita pratyabhavati. So bhute nishtha vihitaha. Vartamane na prapnoti. Iti vidhiyate. So it becomes, so this is basically a prescription of the kta pratyaya in the present tense, because obviously the fire is blazing right now. It's not like it blazed before and now it has been put out. It's a blazing fire. Blazing, not blazed fire, but the blazing fire. So that means it is in the present tense. So nitaktaha. Nitaktaha. That's the important sutram here. So we have to learn a few new things here and there, but otherwise, and then this eat as an it is to stop the idagama in the nishtha. Shvidito nishtayam. Shvidito nishtayam is dhatu shvi, or any idit dhatu does not allow nishtha to take a idagamaha. As I mentioned to you, there are 21 rules given by Panini just to stop the idagamaha for the nishtha pratyaha. There are 21 rules. And the very first one is this one. Shvidito nishtayam. Shvidito. In fact, we just use in the class today, we use yasya vibhasha, right? That's the Anantaram Sutram, the next Sutram after this one. So we want this one right now. Shvidito nishtayam. Idit dhatu. No, will not allow the nishtha pratyatike idagama. Always don't forget one thing, is the idagama comes to pratyaha, not to the dhatu. The dhatu only allows or disallows it. So shvidito nishtayam, this idit dhatu, nishtha pratyatike idagama. So now we know the use of these two. Why is it neat? Because it is to get the pratyakta vartamane by nitaktaha. And why is an idit? It's an edit in order to stop the idagama for the nishtha. So we have used both these nicely here, nitaktaha and the shvidito nishtayam. After that, then we get the upadha nakar lopaha. Aniditam halupadaya kiniti. Aniditam halupadaya kiniti. So if you have kitnit pratyaya following, then the upadha nakaraha takes a lopaha. Aniditam should not be idit dhatu. That's idit. This dhatu is idit. This is more confusing, I guess. So this sutram, aniditam halupadaya kiniti, the dhatu should not be idit. Should not be idit. So, but right now we have dhatu which is idit. Idit. So aniditam is fine because the dhatu is not idit, it is a idit. Then hala upadaya kiniti, nakar lopaha. So we have indh plus kta. Pratyaya following is a kit. So upadha nakara takes lopaha. The dhatu was not idit. The nakara did not come by iditonum dhatoho. This dhatu had a sakshat nakara, the dhatu partha itself. This nakara did not come by numagamaha. This was already there in the dhatuho. So then we get the nakar lopaha, and now we get jashastator dhodhaha. This takara becomes a dakaraha because the jash letter precedes javai garadash chaturtha varnaha. Then of course finally we get the jalam jashi. In Gita, yathai dhamsi samidhognir basmasat kurute arjuna jnanagni sarva karmani basmasat kurute tata. Famous shloka of Gita, yathai dhamsi samidhogni, a very intensely blazing fire, samidha agni. Basmasat kurute arjuna jnanagni sarva karmani basmasat kurute tata. So just like a samidha agni, a blazing fire, reduces to ashes the fuel. Similarly, see here also jnana agni, jnanam eva agni. This is like which we had right now, right? The anana padma, same thing here, metaphor. So this agni in the form of knowledge reduces all actions to ash. Basmasat kurute. So iddha, samidha comes in Gita, samidha. So okay, so one more time, this dhatu is ni indi, and because of this ni as an it, we can use the ni taktaha. This kta pratyaya is used in the present tense, not in the past tense. And then by shvidito nishtayam, idagama is stopped. Then aniditam halupadhaya kiniti, halupadhaya ha kiniti, aniditam hala upadhaya ha kiniti. That stops, that gets the nakar lopaha, and then of course the Jashastatordhodha, Dakaradesha, Jalam Jashi. And Gita reference is 437. Fine, Jwalanaha. Jwalatiti Jwalanaha. So this is in the Adhikara, this Dhatu Jwala Deeptau. Jwala Deeptau gets the Yuch Pratyaha. Because Panini specifically puts these some dhatus in 3 to 150. 3 to 150, Panini has this set of roots saying the Ju Chankramya Dantramya Srugridhi Jwala. Jwala Shucha Lasha Pata Padaha. You take the Pratyaya Yucha. Yucha. It's the Adhikara which starts from 3 to 134, which is Adhikara of Tachila Tadharma Tat Sadhukarishu. Something which does it as a matter of habit or as a matter of his or her dharma, or he or she is good at doing that. Tachila Tadharma Tat Sadhukarishu. In these meanings, these pratyas come, and here Panini say some dhatus, they take the yuch pratyah. So Jalanaha, which habitually blazes, that is fire. So Jwalati, Tachila, Jwalanaha. So Pratyaya Yuch is added. Of course, Halantyam Tasya Lopaha. Yuvaranakau becomes Jwalana. Comes in Gita. Always keep Bhagavad Gita. Comes in chapter 11. Jwalanam Patangaha, Vishanti Nashaya Samriddha Vegaha. Tathaiva Nashaya Vishanti Loka, Stavapi Bhaktarani Samriddha Vegaha. Jwalanam Patangaha. Just like the moths enter a fire for the destruction, similarly all this entire creation is entering your mouths. So this is in the Vishwarupa Darshana Yogaha. So Yatha Pradiptum Jwalanam Patangaha. Yatha Pradiptum Jwalanam, like a blazing fire. Patangaha Vishanti, so like the moths enter a blazing fire. Nashaya Samriddha Vegaha, with intense speed. Tathaiva Nashaya Vishanti Lokaha. So all these people or the world is words are entering into your mouths. Samriddha Vegaha. So Jalanam Patangaha. Jalanam is Agnim, blazing, one which blazes habitually is. Okay, I guess enough Vyakaranam for one shloka. Let's see, is Vain still awake? Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me read first Professor Devdhar's comments. And he says that, what does he say? That the curse was a blessing too, since it assured the king that he would have a son. He says that. So the poet gives a beautiful drishtantaha in the last two lines, thus justifying the statement that the curse was a blessing. For it is well known that the soil, especially that of the rice fields, requires to be burnt up that it may yield abundant harvest. So another commentator gives that Shali Kshetra Bhumau. So in this rice field, Shali Shalayaha. Shali is kind of rice. So Shali Kshetra Bhumau. He Daham Vina, without fire. Kinchin Notpadyate. So nothing grows. Nothing grows unless you burn the soil. Iti Konkaneshu Prasiddhi. So this is the famous in the Konkana regions. I guess that's where the rice grows. This says Krishyam is Karshitum Yogyam, fit to be tilled. It is a corn bearing land and not barren land. So not barren land. So alright. Let's look at the translation. So what he says is that to me, I guess on me.
Yes, sir. Mai.
Who has not seen, which is Adrishta. The loveliness is Shobha. Of the lotus is Padma. Lotus face, he says. So this
face is Anana.
Anana Padma. Ananam Eva Padmam. Of a son is
Tanaya.
Yes. So basically, one who has not seen the loveliness of the lotus face of a son. Adrishta Tanayanana Padma Shobhe. So the Rasva Deshaha. Even is
Api.
Api.
Api. Yes.
This curse is
Shapaha.
Shapaha. The curse is Shapaha, which thy saintly self has, which is what?
Which, I'm sorry, Bhagavata?
Which thy made saintly self, yeah. So
okay,
Bhagavata.
okay.
He's made it
Saintly
active.
self.
He's made it active. Has made to fall. Yes.
Patitaha.
Which has been made to fall by thy saintly self.
Yeah.
So it says, and ayam is this. Ayam is this. Is accompanied by a blessing.
Sanugraha.
Sanugraha. So is
Kalu. I was looking for Eva. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Kalu.
Drishtanta.
Okay.
Drishtanta, you don't have any Eva. This is not Upama. Drishta is an illustration. So just that. Fire is
Jalanaha.
Jalanaha. Kindled by fuel.
That is Indhanam. Indhanena
iddaha. Although I think that is
Api, I guess.
Api. It may consume.
Dahan.
It may burn.
Yeah.
Corn bearing land. Corn bearing is tillable. Yeah. So Krishyam.
Okay, Krishyam.
And land is Kshitim. Yet that's all Api again, or maybe they're Khalu or Api Khalu. Makes it productive of seedlings.
Yeah. Bija
Praroha Jananim. Utpadana Kshama. Capable of producing the seed sprouts. Okay. Last two verses of Raghuvamsha Kavyam. Let us look at this one. Time is running out. We can do more. We can do some of it. Itham gate. Gata granaha. Kimayam vidhattam vadyastavetyabhito vasudhadipena. Edhan hutashana vataha. Samuniryayache. Putram parasum anugantu manaha. Sadaraha. Itham gate gatagranaha kimayam vidhattam vadyastavetyabhito vasudhadipena edhan hutashanavataha samuniryayache putram parasum anugantu manaha sadaraha. So Padacheda is itham gate. Gata granaha is a samastam padam. Gata grana yasya saha. So grana is daya. So compassion. Gata granaha. Kim ayam vidhattam vadhyaha tava iti. Now iti ends the quotation. The quotation begins from here. Gata granaha ayam tava vadhyaha kim vidhattam. That's inside the quotation. Iti abhihitaha comes in Gita. Esha te vihita sankhye buddhir yoge timam shanu. Abhihita means kathitaha. Uktaha basically. Uktaha you can say. Nirupitaha. Uktaha. Abhihitaha. Vasudhadipena straightforward. Vasudhaya adipena means by the king basically. So thus spoken to by the king. Just spoken to by the king. Edhan means edha is also akaranta shabda, means kashtani, fuel. So wood. Hutashana vataha. Hutashana vat pratipadikam. So hutashana vataha is also dvitiya bahuvachanam. It's samadhikaram with edhan. So wood, which is vat means which contains it, the fire. So basically wood which is capable of burning, I guess. So hutashana is agni. Agnivat. Agnivan edha. So it is a fuel stick which has agni in it. So basically fuel stick which is capable of burning. Saha munihi. Now all these sandhi rules, please practice. Etat tadoho sulopo koranyang samase hali. Etat tado sulopo koranyang samase hali. So 61132. This saha and eshaha is a sakar lopaha. Hali. Hali. Etat tado sulopo kornyang samase hali. So we can forget, these are very rare condition, we can forget these. Basically, this su, the pratama ekvachanam sakaraha, it takes lopaha for this etad and tad, the eshas and saha. Hali. So we get, we don't get so munir, we get sa munir. So saha munihi yayache. Straightforward lit lakaraha. Putram parasum, we did in the prior class, paragataha asavaha yasya saha. So one who is like vidhava, one whose life breath has gone away. Means mrutam. Mrutam putram anugantu manaha. So one whose mind was set to follow his son who had passed away. Sadaraha. So daraihi saha vartate sadaraha. One who's with his wives. In this case, I guess one wife only. So sadaraha is derived the same way as sanugraha. Same way as sanugraha. So now, what does the sentence become? Is simple sentence is munihi yayache. Munir yayache. Yayache is a straightforward lit lakaraha. So the ascetic, the sage, he requested. Now what did he request for? Yayache, by the way, is derived, I think, in a post on for homework. Look at the post on Jan 5th, 2012. The entire from Yayache been derived there. Okay, so Yayache derived in Jan 5th post. So please look at that. I put the steps again here, but we can look at that for homework. And then Vidhattam is okay. Let's start from here. Munihi yayache, the sage requested. What did he request? He requested huta edhan. He wanted fuel woods. So sticks of wood, fuel sticks, which were hutashanavataha, which contained fire in them, which is capable of burning. And then the Muni has an adjective to him, anugantu manaha. Anugantum manaha yasya saha. So one whose mind is set to follow, wants to follow. So this is pratipadikam, anugantu manas pratipadikam, anugantu manaha. Even though manas is a neutral pratipadikam, is a bahuvari compound, it's qualifying munihi, so it become declined like Vedas or like Chandramas. Anugantu manaha is prathama ekvachanam. So don't get fooled by this. This is prathama ekvachanam, not prathama bahuvachanam. Prathama ekvachanam. Then sadaraha, we have just talked about that. Daraihi saha. This dara is a masculine word for a wife. How about that? The word is masculine, the wife is not masculine. Only the word is masculine. This goes to show you that that words don't have to follow the gender of the meaning of the word which they are signifying of the thing I should say. I'm sorry. The word which doesn't have to follow the gender of the person or thing which is their meaning. Then parasum, we just talked about that. We already read in the prior class. You can practice again. So for homework, yayache in the post, okay. Sadaraha, same as sanugraha in the prior shlokaha, okay. Parasum derived in the prior class. Practice that. Now anugantum manaha. The one thing here is that anugantum manaha. So what happened to the makaraha? So take this for homework. Is that there is a vartikam. There's a special vartikam under the 61144 in the Kashika as a vartikam, which allows for this makara lopaha. Lumped avashyamaha. Quickly lose in the class next time. There's a typo here. Typo here. I'm sorry. Kritye. Okay. Then tum kama manasorapi. So this tum gantum manaha, and comes in Bhagavad Gita. Yodhukaman avasthitan. Yodhukaman. Says yodhum kamaha yeshamte. So yodhukaman avasthitan. Kairmaya saha yodhavyam aspindrana samudhyame. Chapter 1 or 2 it must become. Chapter 1 only, I think. In Yodhukaman avasthitan. So Yoddhukaman avasthitan. Yoddhukaman avasthitan. Here it is, chapter 1, sloka 22. So Yoddhum Kamaha. So here also Yoddhum. So this is the Vartikam, which take for homework in 61144, which is a new Vartikam. So we have to justify the Makar Lopaha of Gantum. So Gantukamaha. So basically this Tumun, this Makar of Tumun, it goes away when followed by Kama or Manas. In Gita we have Kama, Yoddhukaman. Right now we have Anugantumanaha. So we have that right now in Raghuvansha Kavyam. And then Vasudhadipena Abhitaha. Abhita Dadhatir Hihi Sutram. Practice that for homework, please. We have seen in the class previously. Is this Sutram Dadatir Hihi. Dadatir Hihi, which is 7442. So it's a Nishtha Kta Pratyaya Dhatu is Dudhai Dharana Poshana Yoho. But Abhidha is to narrate. Abhidhiyate. So means been spoken to thus by the king. And this is iti. Iti is ayam, ayam aham basically. This me, this I. Gata grhanaha. So gata grhana is saha, who is merciless. And tava vadhyaha, who's basically fit to be killed by you. What should this one, means I, what should this one do? So kim vidhattam. So ayam gata grhanaha. Kim vidhattam. So what should this one, meaning I? This is inside the quotation now. The king is talking to the sage. What should this one, who really is fit to be killed by you, and who has no mercy, what should this one, meaning I, arrange for you? Vidha is to prescribe, to allot, to arrange, to ordain, to arrange, to basically to do. What should I do for you is what he's saying. What should this one do for you? What should this one do? This one is fit to be killed by you and who has no mercy. That's in the iti. And itham gate. So basically this having transpired. So this completes the prior scene. The rishi has now cursed him. And itham gate. Itham pravritte sati. So when this scene had transpired, when this event had transpired, so gate is practice or homework, please. This sutram, this sat saptami, what we call the locative absolute, gate sati. So when this had transpired, itham gate. So when the events had occurred in this manner, itham gate sati. So that sutram will be here. Yasya cha bhavena bhava lakshanam. Okay, so that's the saptami in the sati saptami or sat saptami in gate. So gate sati. When these events had thus passed in this manner, then being addressed by the king, that what should this one, who is fit to be killed by you, vadhyaha, and who has no mercy, what should this one do? Having spoken to thus, the sage, the ascetic, requested this fuel sticks which had fire in them, with a desire to follow his son, along with his wife, to follow his son who had passed away. So we'll do the grammar next time. Let's see. Maybe we can do translation maybe. You there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and let me read the notes for you also, and then we'll do translation. We'll stop the class because time is up. The notes on this sutram sloka say, under these circumstances, itham gate, is under these circumstances, such being the case, then gata ghrana yasya saha, very cruel or pitiless, as he had deprived them of their only son. He asked the king to prepare a funeral pyre, that he might burn himself to death and follow his son. So, okay, the translation is as follows. In these circumstances, what do you think?
Itham gate.
So this having transpired. So, okay, what is?
Kim.
May
I?
No, it's a may do. Vidhattam.
Vidhattam.
This is lot. Pratham Purusha Ekvachan, Vidhattam. So Vidhattam. So what should this one arrange? What should this one ordain? What should this one do? Okay. This is
Ayam.
Ayam. Ayam.
Yeah.
This one basically Ayam.
Yeah.
Pitiless
Gatagranaha.
Gatagranaha. That deserves death.
Vadhya.
Vadhya. From thy hand is
Tava.
Tava Vadhya. Iti ends the quotation. Well, then it says thus. Thus is the iti. Addressed is
Abhihitaha.
Abhihitaha. By the king.
Vasudha adipena. Vasudha adipena.
Vasudhayaha adipena. Vasudha adipena.
Oh,
Yes, Vasudha is Prithvi. Yeah.
Right.
Akasama Dirgha.
Yeah, right.
The sage is
Munihi.
Munihi. Begged for.
Rache.
Burning is I think Hutashana Vataha. Means which contains fire, burning. Fuel. Edhan. Desiring to follow.
Anugantu
manaha. His son, his understood.
Yeah.
Putram. In death. Parasum, one who had passed, one whose life has passed away, with his wife. Daraha. So next class we will finish this one. So please do some homework. Thank you, Ben. And we will continue with the last. There's a couple of Subhashitani there, Subhashite, and then we had the Lung Lakaraha. So I hope you are following the Saturday class. But in this last Saturday class, we started Lung Lakaraha. So in this class, we'll do it again in brief. But if you can, please look at the Saturday class notes. So you'll be already familiar with that. So in this Saturday class, we just started the Lung Lakaraha. So by the time next week, we'll start Lung Lakara in this class now, which is going to be nice. You're going to get a lot of examples every day. So if you please listen to the class, or at least look at these notes from the Saturday class, Sutra Suchi number 2, the Lung Lakaraha from number 544 onwards. Sutra Suchi number 2, Lakara Lung. We already derived 2 or 3 forms. So please follow, listen to this class or look at the notes so we can do it, in brief in this class. I mean, we'll go through the book. We'll do all these, but we will use the Saturday class notes so we can, we already have a leg up, so we already done many of the forms. So next class, we'll finish this one. I think we will finish these last 2, and then we'll start the Lung Lakaraha most likely. So please look at the Saturday class recordings and the notes so we can follow along with. We'll make it easy for us. So, Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Vijay Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham